Welcome back to Ben Rants. And when I was a kid, channels weren't run by shows. Well, with Season 4 Ponies just 3 long, agonizing, horrifying months away, but people are sick and tired of me talking about this show, and I should feel bad for them because I guess I'm hypnotizing them into watching every single one of my videos, so I'm going to change it up a bit. As much as I love this show, there are some episodes that make me angry enough to pull my bottom lip over my head. It's time for me to rant on what I feel to be the worst Ponies episodes. Let's start with an easy one, the Mysterious Mare duel. So, Rainbow Dash goes around saving lives, making her a celebrity in Ponyville, which causes her to showboat. So, when a new hero arrives to steal Rainbow's thunder, she becomes jealous of the hero and tries to reclaim her glory. Okay, I don't like this episode that much, but I don't hate it to the point where I want to skin Meriwether Williams. Other than that, this episode really makes the characters we've come to love look like jackasses. No offense. None taken. For starters, I already knew who Meriwether was going to be. The episode made it easy during that scene involving the Ponyville Dam where Meriwether uses her magic to fix it, and her magic has the same color aura as a pony we know. Oh god, who could it be? I know, Trixie! Yeah, it was pretty easy to tell that the rest of the main 6 were behind Meriwether. That's one way to blow your secret identity. You don't see other superheroes making their secret identities stick out like that. Now, if only I can find out who Superman is. And don't try to tell me it's Clark Kent. Superman doesn't wear glasses, you morons. Also, even though this show's main theme is friendship, it's really ironic when the 5 ponies aren't supporting Rainbow Dash and they're instead putting her down for showing off. What? Our friend who shows off all the time is showing off at a time where she deserves to show off? How dare she? Plus, the 5 really contradict themselves when they show themselves off while talking about how awesome Mare-Duel is. I think Discord's behind this episode, but there are a few things I do like. As always, Pinkie Pie is hilarious. She's Pinkie Pie. She can be in Honey Boo Boo and it would still be crap, but at least Pinkie Pie will be the only redeeming quality. And I die laughing at the scene where Rainbow Dash tries to open the peanut butter container. The only way that scene could be more hilarious is if dramatic music is added to it. Other than that, this episode is pretty forgettable, and it really doesn't fit well with this show. Dear Princess Celestia, today I learned that Rainbow Dash, my great friend, is a show-off. I had no idea she was like that, and she should be ashamed of herself. A good friend like me isn't going to stand for that. Next episode I'd like to forget is It's About Time. Oh god. So, Twilight is visited by her future self, but she disappears before she can warn Twilight about something. So, present Twilight feels that some big disaster is coming, and she tries to prevent it. And it turns out, she prevents nothing! Why, M.A. Larson? You're such a good writer. What went wrong, man? Okay, I'll start out by saying that Twilight is my least favorite of the main 6. But that's not a bad thing. It just means that I think she's the character with the less story potential, and I think that the other characters are more interesting than her. However, I still love her, and the episodes that focus on her are really good. Except this one. Although Twilight isn't my favorite character, I know one thing about her. She's not a moron! I think Twilight being hit on the head several times and feeling Pinkie keen has finally caught up to her, as she acts like a complete idiotic nutcase in this episode. She should have realized that she was the one she had to worry about the first time she started to look like future Twilight. Twilight might get over obsessed with things, but she knows how to think and figure out things with the drop of a penny. What makes her look even more ironic is in the ending where she actually goes back in time to warn past Twilight about what happens, and she realizes that she was the one trying to warn herself. Oh wow, I can't believe you figured that out. That's genius. Here's a medal, you deserve it. For a pony that knows everything about everything, you'd think she would know something about time travel. I guess that's the one book in the library that's missing. Dr. Hose must have borrowed it. So yeah, this episode's pretty bland, predictable, and forgettable. But I'm optimistic, and there are some things in this episode I do like. Again, Pinkie Pie, she's hilarious, end of story. Also, Cerberus was pretty awesome. And watching Twilight freak out was funny, even though she was still a complete doofus. So, this is yet another episode that I don't hold very high. Dear Princess Celestia, I'm stupid. Next episode is Spike at Your Service. Another one by Meriwether Williams? Oh no. Okay, so Applejack saves Spike's life, and now Spike pledges to help Applejack and dedicates his life to repaying her. Okay, one thing this show is great at is taking cliche plot lines and making them fresh and new. This episode isn't a good example of that. It's just a character saves another character, so now that character has to get the character to save her life so the character will stop bugging her storyline. Come on! Every cartoon has done that! Rugrats, Hi Puffy Amiyumi are the only two I can think of, but I know there's more! However, there's also another thing that bugs me out of this episode. Spike's characterization. This episode makes Spike look like a clumsy doofus. Yeah, since when is Spike a member of the Three Stooges? Spike does work for Twilight, so why is he so bad working for Applejack? And don't bullcrap me with that farm work versus library work excuse. How does Spike suck at mopping when in Return of Harmony, Fluttershy pours mop water on him, so it's obvious he's mopped before? Also, how can he burn the apple pie when in the episode Dragon Quest, he made treats for the ponies, which is another episode written by you, Williams! What the truck? But I'm squeezing my stress ball, so now I can talk about the positives of this episode. Again, Pinkie Pie. Also, Applejack is quickly becoming my third favorite pony. She just feels like a character I can sit down and have a cider with. Then, there is Mega Timberwolf. Awesome. Bottom line, this episode felt like a total downgrade for Spike, which is a shame, because I love episodes that center around him. Thankfully, he redeemed himself in Just for Sidekicks. Thank you, Corey Powell. Dear Princess Celestia, I'm too focused on my work to even care about what Spike's doing while I'm working. I'm such a good friend. Finally, the worst episode of the show. So bad, most fans disown it from the show. It's only the 6th episode of the whole show, and it almost killed it. That episode is Ghostbusters. Okay, so a unicorn magician named Trixie comes into town to perform a magic act, and Applejack, Rarity, and Rainbow Dash all criticize her for showboating. Hello, Rainbow Dash! You show off all the time! You're one to talk! Also, Rarity, you're all about having attention focused on you. What the truck? If this episode is supposed to be satirizing a YouTube comment section, it's doing a good job. So, the friends want Twilight to show off in front of Trixie to show she's a fraud. Wait, hold on! You want Twilight to show off in front of Trixie because you don't like Trixie being a show-off? What? I think I just suffered from a brain aneurysm. However, Twilight disagrees because she doesn't want to end up looking like Trixie. There! Listen to Twilight! She's smart in this one! So, Snips and Snails end up bringing Ursa Minor into Ponyville, which Trixie can't get rid of, so Twilight has to end up doing it, and Trixie is exposed as the fraud she is. So, what happens to Snips and Snails, the characters that almost got several ponies killed by bringing a giant monster into Ponyville? They're given mustaches. Ugh, bad episodes make me so hungry, so I cut up some beef. I'm okay now. Yeah, this is without question the worst episode of the show. The characters act like hypocritical witches, there's no Pinkie Pie to make me laugh, Trixie is an unlikable antagonist, and in this case, that's a bad thing, and the punishment of Snips and Snails just hurts me physically. This episode was written by Chris Savino, who since then hasn't written another episode for this show. I wonder why. Anyway, Ghostbusters is one episode of this show that I'm always tempted to skip, but I can't because, despite all the things that tick me off about it, I still look for the individual moments that I find to be funny. That's just how much I love this show. So, there are, in my opinion, the worst episodes of this show. If there were any episodes of this show that you hate that were in this video, that means that I don't hate them. If that ticks you off, make your own video. I'm Benthelooney, and I'm signing out. I just realized I forgot to cook that beef. Hey buddy, send down some more food, please. Uh-oh.
I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down.